My partner wants an open relationship. Help. Now, if you're watching this because it's your partner and not you who wants an open relationship, then don't worry. I am here to help you too. Yes, I may create an awful lot of content about open and swinger relationships, and I may coach people on how to have them successfully, but I've also been on the receiving end of that conversation, so I know how it feels and what thoughts are probably racing through your mind. My name is Rosie Kay, and I'm an open relationship coach and swinger lifestyle expert. I work with couples and with single people who want to get involved in ethical non-monogamy. On my blog site, ThisKindaGirl.co.uk, I aim to banish the stigma about ethical non-monogamy and educate people as to who swingers really are. Now, it can be really easy to fall into the trap of believing that the reason your partner wants an open relationship is that you are not good enough, or that you don't satisfy them, or that ultimately they just want to leave you. Now, this is something that I certainly thought when I first heard that my partner wanted an open relationship. All these thoughts went straight through my mind, and I clung to my partner and I blamed myself for not being enough for him. Now, the second thing I did, and I'm sure many of you have experienced this, was that I felt hostile to the point of feeling very defensive. I was not welcome to the thought of my relationship being opened up, and I was highly protective over it. I now realize that all I was doing was responding naturally to a situation that I had never encountered before. And that I kind of draw up my own conclusions about it, and I decided that it was a threat to my relationship. Therefore, I needed to fight it off, and I did that by clinging to him and by being defensive. So now I'm sure you're all thinking, well, what happened to go from where you were to where you are here? Now, the first thing I did was educate myself about why we as human beings may want an open relationship. And I listened to my partner and his reasons. He had no intention of replacing me or becoming emotionally involved with anyone else, which was what my biggest fear was. I thought if he was to have sex with somebody else, he might love them and he might leave me. And the more I learned about it, the more I realized that actually this was not what he was wanting to happen. And yes, of course, you can have polyamorous relationships that are also open. But for me personally, him being emotionally involved with other people was a step too far, but he wasn't wanting to do this. You know, he wasn't looking to sneak around. And I realized that if he wanted to cheat on me or be deceitful, he would have done so. But the fact that he came to me and we spoke about it was actually quite reassuring. Now, he explained to me they wanted to experience sexual scenarios with other people, and some of these were things which I couldn't provide for him because I'm a woman. He was bisexual, and there were a few things he wanted to experience which I simply couldn't do because I am a woman, and there is no way that I can compete with what it is he wants to experience. And there's no point in me kind of saying, well, absolutely not, you can't do that, because I wanted him to have those experiences. I wanted him to be able to experience sexuality as I do, because I'm bisexual, and I didn't want to be that person to go, oh no, you can't do that. So when we actually spoke about the things he wanted to enjoy, I really did empathize with how he was feeling, because I saw a lot of myself in that. So I did have that understanding. Now, he did also enjoy intimacies and sex with women as well. And again, this was on a purely physical level. He wasn't looking to fall in love with them. He wasn't looking to get involved too much with them. Yes, he was friends with them, but it wasn't something which he was kind of looking to expand his emotional relationship with them. Now, what I realized was that it didn't have to be as make or break as I thought it would be. It was very much kind of like our relationship and then this alongside. It wasn't like one or the other, which is how I kind of first envisioned things to be. A next step that we did is that we discussed what it was going to be like, what he was going to experience, what he wanted to experience, what he wanted to enjoy. And we set up some rules and some boundaries. We spoke about kind of what was okay for it to happen and what wasn't okay to happen, and would it be in our home, would it be somewhere else, would it be in their home, and kind of establishing what we were comfortable with and what we weren't comfortable with. So that was another important step that we needed to take. And it was something which, once we'd had that conversation and once I'd got kind of, I drew quite a lot of comfort from that, it actually became a lot more settled in my mind. You know, we had honest conversation, and it allowed for us to lay out our fears and concerns, because obviously he didn't want to jeopardize the relationship either. He was fearful that him bringing that to the table and saying about these things meant that I was going to result in me leaving him. So he was fearful of that as well. And we actually found solutions that benefited us both. Yes, I didn't want to necessarily have that conversation initially, and yes, it was uncomfortable, but for us both to achieve what it is we wanted in our relationship, we both had to listen and we both had to talk about it, and we both had to work together to make the relationship work. And I think one of the biggest things to do, and it was a hard thing to do, but it was very it was an essential step to take, was I had to put myself in his position and try and imagine how much courage it had taken for him to come and say that to me, because up until that point, including my sexuality within our relationship, which is my bisexuality, had been something we'd done very much together. So it wasn't really open in that sense, because we'd always enjoyed it together, whereas what he was proposing was for him to go and enjoy that without my participation, and it was something which I didn't really want to be involved in. So that was a whole new level of openness, which we had to find a way to work with. So the fact that he was able to come and speak to me about that, and the fact that he was able to be honest, I did really respect that in him. And showing compassion was another thing which I had to learn to do, but it was very essential as well. I hope you found this video informative. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you found it useful. And I think one of the biggest things to take away from this video is that having an open relationship, or one person wanting an open relationship, it doesn't mean that your relationship is going to come to an end. It doesn't mean that your partner wants to leave you. What it does mean is that they want to communicate with you about how they are feeling, and they want to be able to have that type of relationship where they can be honest, they can be transparent, they can be authentic. And who wouldn't want that for their partner? I certainly didn't want to be the person to tell him what he could and couldn't do, because that is not me at all. So I wanted to have that type of relationship, although it was really scary. And I know it's hard to put yourself in the position. I know it's hard to show compassion. I know it's hard to show understanding when you want to be hostile, when you want to be defensive. But if you can do that, then you will put the foundations for something down, which are actually become really strong, because you can really empathize with how your partner is feeling. If you've enjoyed hearing about my experience of this, if you'd like to find out more about me, if you'd like to find out more about open relationships and ethical non-monogamy, or how to go from monogamy to ethical non-monogamy, you can do. Visit my site, ThisKindaGirl.co.uk. On there, you'll find a guide to it. On there, you'll find more about me. And if you want to read about what it is I get up to, relationships I've had, situations I've been in, you can do in my TKG Club. Descriptions to everything are below. Just hit those links, and I shall see you all next time.